Welcome back. We are back on this baby. So what we're gonna do today, guys, is exhaust. So as you know, we have a long tube header to a custom 3.5-inch exhaust all the way out. It's got vibrant mufflers, it's all a mess. So I bought OEM M3 muffler, cats and muffler to put on this thing because I want to be able to go back to swapping cat backs to different things. I kind of want to run like a Dynan or AA or, you know, any kind of exhaust. I want to be able to swap it out. So we have to get the exhaust off. It's not super hard to get off. It's just hard because we're under the car. But the question, and I have not looked at this car in so long, I don't know, and I can't remember because we've done so much stuff to this car. I, for some reason, remember, I don't know if it was my silver car or this car, that I took the car to get flanges built for it from the exhaust, from the headers to the exhaust. I don't know if this was this car or the silver car that I sent out to have the exhaust flanges made. So I don't know if this stock flange 3 bolts actually bolt up. I don't know. That's gonna be something that we gotta figure out. But I have a 328 exhaust and I have an M3 exhaust, but you can see the difference. I'm gonna run the M3 one, but I really needed those flanges because I was at one time gonna just cut the exhaust midway and weld a Y to these flanges, hook it to the exhaust, make a cool little exhaust. But I have all the stock stuff, so we're gonna try to do that. So let's go and see what we got to get this exhaust off and what we gotta do, because I haven't been out of the car in a long time. So you can see we got some cobwebs here. So let's take a look at this exhaust. You can see it's been beat and everything, but I am gonna say those are made flanges. Those don't look OEM, or not OEM, but OEM location. I'm going to say those are the ones I had made. They look like it because those are long tube, and I think these long tubes were the ones that came down and went way down here. But God, look at all these cobwebs. We haven't been under here. We need to do an oil pan gasket. I really should do that while I'm under here, because look at all this oil that's, you know, probably preventing the car from rusting under here, but leaking oil for however long it's been leaking oil for. God, who knows how long. Those do not look OEM. They really don't. But we're going to take off the exhaust anyways, so that we can figure out what the hell we're doing. Because maybe that's... God, my wheels need to be clean. Everything needs to be clean on it. We need to get this thing outside one day and power spray the you-know-what out of it. I need to get all these lights off underneath, get all that taken care of, and then recoat the bottom of this car. God, I got a lot of work to do on this thing. This thing is rough. rough. And dirty. Okay, let's pull this exhaust off. So, I'm gonna show you this, and it's gonna be obvious. So, the angles aren't even the same. Hi, kitten. Okay, so the angles on these, let's see if I can get, they don't look like they're the same. They look way off. Position kinda looks okay, but the actual angle of the flanges do not look like they would even come close to this. So it must have been right that I had those flanges made for this exhaust to bolt up. Hi, kitten. Really? Fine. So I think I'm gonna have to go with my last idea is mark where those flanges sit, cut the exhaust back there, make a Y pipe, put those flanges on the muffler, hang the muffler, see where this pipe goes, and then join the two of them. That's just gonna be a shit show of fun. Cause I guarantee if I unbolt these are not gonna bolt up in the right way, shape, or form. Cause I don't know what I did. Did I drive with open headers and then this exhaust just strapped up? I honestly cannot remember. This was pre-YouTube, pre-everything, so I don't remember how all this goes up, but I gotta figure out what's gonna be my easiest way. Do I take these headers off? Because I can get to everything. Oh god, I got a header bolt right there that's not even in. Look at that thing. Okay. Do I order new headers that bolt up to this exhaust? And then run a whole stock exhaust? Or do I cut the flange and go about it that way? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be easiest, guys. Oh, this is gonna be... thought this was gonna be easy. I thought I was gonna unbolt this and bolt this right up. They don't even look like they're spaced the right distance apart. The flanges, they're not. They're way too close. So do I order headers? Cause this, I don't, this exhaust that's on here, I do not, the sound is too loud. And I actually think these mid pipes are not even M3 mid pipes, they're 328 mid pipes, which I think are the same as M3. I don't know. If I still had my stock headers, I could at least run stock headers, but just for the time being, but I don't. No, I threw those out a long time ago. I don't know what I want to do, guys. Okay, I gotta search the internet, see what headers cost, see if it's worth it. If not, I'll just cut the flange off and use the flange. Be back. Okay. eBay shorty headers are less than 200 bucks right now. Those were eBay long tube headers that were like 100 bucks. So that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna order eBay shorty headers. They come October 4th, like 3 days. So gonna order those, and then we'll be able to bolt everything up the right way. So let's take off this exhaust, and I guess start taking off the headers too. If anybody wants this exhaust, come get it. It's just gonna take up space in this garage, and I don't have room. So let's start taking this stuff off. Oh my god. Oh, we had enchilada casserole today, and it's going through me. Burns. So we have our header bolts off. I don't know if you can see it, but header bolts are off. We need to take a mount there and this mount here on the transmission we need to get off, so that we can drop this whole thing down and get it out of here. So let's do that. My goal is to get this off tonight and then go to bed, because we gotta order headers and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's do it. So we have it dropped down, and now I think I gotta get it unlodged from the bumper. I don't think there's a... Nope, there's not. And there it goes. It just fell. It's done. Okay, so we can pull it out now. Pull it out, and I'm gonna lay it right here, and I'm gonna show you guys what we got. So guys, this is the exhaust. It's 2 pipes into one, and actually this is only like a 3-inch. It's not that big. So it's 2 pipes into one with an O2 sensor, because we only have one O2 sensor, a vibrant cat, a crush bend, and a vibrant muffler to the tip. So this thing is going away, and this is taking its place. And you can see, just by looking at that flange and looking at that flange, they're completely different. I'm guessing that this has a flange, and I had that exhaust made. Whatever it is, we are gonna just order new headers. So our next major thing is we gotta remove the headers, which with everything removed, taking the headers off is not that big of a deal. It would be if you have like all your AC and all your stuff. It's hard to get to the headers, but we're gonna order new headers because they're less than $200, and then we'll run all that right there. Everything that's stacked right there, we're gonna run all together. So yeah, let's do it. So we have the exhaust out, and as you saw, it is not OEM. So this doesn't match that, which doesn't match the headers, so we can't put the stock exhaust on here because this is all custom. And I forgot that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the headers and we obviously pulled the exhaust, pull the headers, get new headers, get new, well, no, not new exhaust, but get new headers so we can bolt this up so that we can put that on to that, and put this all back together. So let's get these stupid freaking header bolts out. F all those bolts, guys. God dang. So we got one header out. That's the back one. As you can see, look how short it is. This used to be long tube, but we cut it to make it fit this. And now I gotta get this off, but it's hitting the motor mount. So the front header is hitting the motor mount, so it won't come out. It's stuck on the studs. because as you can see, not all the studs came out. Some came out, some just the bolts. If all the studs came out, then I could have pulled the header out, but we need to jack up the motor just a little bit, crank it to the side, and then we can pull these headers out. So let's get the second set of headers out so we can see what we're working with. So second set's out. We didn't need to jack up the car, we just needed to pry a little bit. So these are some long tube headers. I honestly can't remember who makes them, but if anybody is interested in those and the exhaust that goes with it, let me know. Because this is something that somebody could come from here, take it right after that, cut it, and make their own like turbo back exhaust or whatever exhaust back. But it is out now, as you can see, and it looks fairly clean. It's got a little oil here and there, but I think that's just from the valve cover leaking before we put the car down. But what we're going to do while we're in here is I'm going to turn this light off underneath because I'm getting a bad glare. There we go. So what we're going to do, oh God, while we're in here, it's one of those situations of while we're in here, let's do this. So my oil pan's been leaking for, well, it's 6 years of not driving, plus like 2 years of driving with the leaky oil pan. So we're gonna do the oil pan gasket. So to do that, we gotta drop the subframe. I have motor mounts from Condor for the car, so might as well put those on while we're doing it. But if we're gonna drop the subframe to do the oil pan, might as well reinforce the oil pan. Reinforce the oil pan. Reinforce the subframe. So if we're gonna reinforce the subframe, we might as well powder coat it while we have it out and welded and everything. So if we're gonna reinforce that and powder coat that, might as well powder coat the oil pan while we're at it, so we make that look nice. So going from switching out headers so we can run our stock exhaust has become, we're gonna drop the whole front subframe, powder coat it, weld it, fix it, oil pan gasket, oil pan. If anybody has a Z3 steering rack, might as well replace that and upgrade that while we're at it. The steering rack is not bad on this, but if someone's got a Z3 for the right price, why not swap it out while we have everything down? Because we're gonna take everything off the front. It's all gonna drop down. So I'm working on getting the engine hoist so we can hook the engine and hoist it so that I can drop everything out. That is not gonna be this video, but the rest of this video may be picking up a headers and exhaust for this thing, so that we have it. But I need to order some parts from Condor for all the reinforcements and everything up front. So that's it for the night because I am done. I got the exhaust out. Exhaust is completely out of the car. Yay! And we may be picking up in this video another exhaust. We'll see. Be right back. So next steps are, we need to remove the wheels and tires, because that's just added weight on the side of the suspension that we don't need. Because we found our Condor motor mounts, we found our new sway bar bushings, but our next thing is we're gonna have to undo the motor mount on either side, which are easy to get to. As you can see, we don't have anything in the way. And then we'll have to get underneath, drop the sway bar out completely because we're gonna put new mounts on anyways. And we might as well powder coat the sway bar brackets while we have those out. And then is disconnect either side of the control arm, and then the control arm bolt down there on either side so that we can get the entire subframe off. But we also got to take, of course, the 2 bolts for the steering rack as well. But that's the only thing that really holds the front cross member in, other than the 2 bolts on either side that hold it to the car. But I'm saying that's bolted to the actual cross member is the steering rack, and the control arm bushings and the motor mounts. So yeah, figured the easiest is going to be to take it off from the top, pop those babies off, and then we'll get our engine brace and we'll support the engine brace from side to side and support the motor so that we can drop everything and have the motor just kind of suspended and hanging. But I gotta go get that from Ren, and gotta do a bunch of other stuff. So the only thing we can really do right now is to take the wheels and tires off and drop the sway bar. That's it right now. So let's do that.